Hi, hello.
Nothing makes me happier than being back in the studio.
I know, it feels so good to be back here, and we're back.
And I'm with a cup of chamomile tea. I'm so wholesome.
Precious. That really is just,
Look at me.
a whole new person.
Speaking of a whole new person, this episode is sponsored by Myers Detox. So it's the Myers Daily Detox, 29 superfoods. We're about to give you an entire episode of how you know we're going to need to detox. And we've already been hitting it for a couple days.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I love it. It actually tastes really good. Francesca's always giving me like weird detox things, and it's like some
concoctions
green
for
powder, and it's like, okay, what kind of slop am I making right now? But this I really liked.
No, this actually tastes amazing.
Yeah, no, it does.
It's fully organic, gives you like focus and energy for the whole day, which we just took some before the podcast, which maybe at 8 p.m.
Yeah, probably not the best, but you know.
It's fine because I needed to focus on the podcast. I need to focus on the stories I need to tell you about how much I need this detox in my life, because you guys know I'm like 80-20. I'm either like eating Cheetos, drinking Diet Coke, and popping Skittles, or I'm making all of my own meals, smoothies, and just consuming a lot of like concoctions. And this is helping me get back on that because I need skinny, fit people make money, drink things like this.
All the skinny girls drink it.
Honestly.
No, we are going full monk mode. We are detoxing. We're getting healthy. And we actually have been, besides this past week, but we've been pretty good. But this is going to help us.
No, exactly. So Myers Detox, we'll put all the links below. We're so excited.
And we'll let you know how we feel the more we drink it.
Yeah.
So thank you, Myers Detox.
Cheers.
But y'all, welcome back to the Saucy Sibz podcast. My name is Nicodemus.
I'm Francesca.
And boy, if you have not subscribed to our Patreon, if you've been listening to it for a while, listening to the pod, please go subscribe. It really helps us out so we can keep on doing this. So thank you. Link in the description. And yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. It really means the world to us. It really does.
Truly. So we tried to start monk mode 2 weeks ago. And Nick's 30th birthday was coming up, but we just decided we're moving back to New York City, if you know from the last podcast.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, I know it's your 30th birthday. Maybe we just go-karting with friends here.
I was fine with that. Like a chill birthday. Like I don't need to do anything crazy. If you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you know that every year I have an insane birthday and it keeps getting crazier. And I was almost like, I said last year at 29, it's my last birthday of my 20s. Why don't I just chill out? It's my 30th birthday. I don't need anything crazy.
We're not trying to spend money. And then,
oh man,
lo and behold,
I'd
like to give a shout out to Drax, our friend who's been on the podcast. You can go listen to her episode. It was her 32nd birthday. So she basically threw a birthday party for you.
I know.
And then our friend Carla, who donated to the Drax Party Fund. And then next thing you know, we had bought flights, really cheap flights to Vegas, because Mammoth is really hard to get to. We had just bought some flights. We were like, it's fine. We're not gonna do that. And I think we explained this the last podcast. I can't remember because it's been a week. And then it's oh, hey, you guys were here's a villa for free. Here's a ride from Vegas to Mammoth. Here's some ski passes. Here's just everything fell in place to where you couldn't say no.
Literally, I couldn't say no. And I was watching one of those TikTok tarot girls.
And
it was
I live and die by them, which
I know,
is kind
I
of a
literally
problem.
do too. And this girl was Leo rising. That's me. She was you're going to go on a trip. And, it might not feel right. And you might not trying to be spending money, but go after it. I was like, okay, well, tarot girl told me. But then everything did keep falling into place. It was literally insane, serendipitous, and thankful for everyone that made it happen. But I was just like, Francesca, there's no way we can't go. Honestly, why don't we just go to Vegas? We could just go to Vegas.
We'll just go to Vegas for a day.
Yeah. And if we make it up to California, we make it up to California. But guys, it was laid out like the yellow brick road, and everything went off without a hitch. And it turned into, I think, one of my craziest birthdays ever, which is saying something.
That is
literally saying something. I'm scared for 31.
So how does it start?
Okay.
We flew in.
So we got these cheap flights. We thought our flights were leaving Thursday night. And so Wednesday night, we checked the flights to check in. And we realized that it was actually Thursday morning.
At like 6 a.m.
I don't know how we missed that or what we thought of that, but I was like, Francesca, we have to pack like within the next 2 hours and get our whole house ready because we're leaving now, like in a little bit. And so we did. So we basically started running around the house, cleaning and packing. And then we were having people stay at our house while we were in Vegas. So it was like the whole house had to be clean. It was kind of a disaster, but we did it. We literally did it, went to bed, woke up at 5
Honestly,
a.m.
wonderfully.
I know. I mean, we're good at this, but
We've done this a bunch. Don't mind us, just fully changing, repacking all of our bags, but like kind of a hack because I can see how much it weighs as we repack it all. No, and everything just works out.
everything's always working out.
Security's empty. Right up to it.
No one here.
Dropped right off. But so we like wake up early, fly there, and then we were supposed to meet our friend Carla when she got off work at like noon. Like, okay, we have like a few hours to kill in Vegas. First of all, you're not trying to spend money. Don't go to the strip.
Don't go to the strip. Don't
In
go to
Vegas?
any casinos.
That's obvious.
I mean,
That's
it is
totally obvious.
obvious.
But like, you guys, a Diet Coke, I was trying not to drink the whole weekend. Let me tell you how that went. No, so we get there and I'm like, I'll just have a Diet Coke, please. $8.
Yeah, it is
$8
crazy.
For a Diet Coke, not free refills. So then I'm like, might as well drink champagne for 12.
I know, literally.
That's
I mean, what else are you gonna do? I mean,
That's the obvious next step.
that's girl math. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, that's what we're
I'm
gonna
obviously saving money at this point because I'll actually get a buzz. And she ended up like going home, like taking a nap. And so we had like 8 hours to 9 hours to ourselves just on the strip
do. And
for 12.
it's like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We were like, okay, let's go get like an omelet at Mona Gabi.
Mona Gabi is our favorite brunch place in the Paris Hotel.
It is underneath like the Paris,
The Eiffel
like
Tower.
Eiffel Tower.
Overlooks the Bellagio. So it's
Yeah.
actually like kind of like a really cute place if you're over there, especially if the weather's nice. You can
Yeah.
sit outside and watch the Bellagio fountain.
I don't want to go
Say hi.
It's a tourist trap, but the vibes are great. It's fine.
Honestly,
Like, just
food's
go.
amazing.
Food's
Cappuccino's
great, yeah.
unparalleled.
Yes.
Omelet, delicious.
Mhm. So, of course, we go over there, we meet some guys, and then before you know it, we just end up going to Ole Red.
Ole Red.
It's like a 4-story country bar.
It's owned by Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani.
Didn't know, and we love them. And so we go, and it was actually exactly what we were looking for. It was so much fun.
No, we were on the rooftop. There
Like-
was a live band. It was like this couple, like a married couple, and they were also kind of like a comedic sideshow.
They were hilarious.
Downtown Avenue,
Yeah.
actually, is their name on Instagram. They were amazing. We walk in, there's some other birthdays going on. They're like, raise your hand if it's your birthday. I like point to Nick. They sing him happy birthday.
Like, literally-
Sun is shining.
I sit down, grab a drink, and then everyone is singing me happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear TJ, Nick, and Cole.
Woo!
Happy birthday to you.
Woo!
I was like, well, I guess we came to the right spot. And then we met a couple from St. Louis that were in their late 50s, and they were great.
Or
They were so
early
fun.
50s. Don't age them.
Oh, yeah, sorry. But if you're
I don't
listening,
know. No,
apologize.
they were so cool. And
Yeah.
but then they start like buying us drinks and we're hanging out and like banter. Like honestly, we had like the best day on the rooftop. Like we didn't want to leave.
I know the weather again was fantastic. And so, yeah, because at first we were like, oh, what are we going to do? Like, we're really not trying to spend money. Like, this is a lot of time to spend like on the strip. And we had our bags, like, we just let the hotel keep our bags for a bit.
That's
So-
also a trick. Any
Yeah.
hotel, if you just tell them like go up to the bellhop and like ask, like offer to tip them, oh, will you just take our bags? Like you don't have to wait and walk them around.
Yeah,
with
they'll
you,
hold your bags the entire day.
obviously.
So we actually were kind of like, it went from, oh, like, what are we going to do with ourselves? And like, we have time to kill to like, I don't know if we need to go see Carla. I'm just kidding. But like, we were just having such a good time. And we stayed there till like 6:30 p.m. And I was like, I could have been there all night, And
No,
it kept
Ole
like,
Red, I bet gets bumping.
no, and we actually, the guys at Mona Gabi said that they were at Ole Red all night and they were like, it was awesome. Again, touristy. But like
Totally.
totally done well. Loved it. So shout out to Old Rad for making that day. But then we go and meet up with Carla, and we were like chilling, smoking some hookah, and she has a new man and everything. So we were like getting to know him. But then she takes us in the Ferrari, and then we go to Nobu.
Caesar's Palace,
Yeah.
which has like a Nobu hotel and then Nobu. And actually, I think both of our first time in a like because Nobu is Nobu Matsuhisa.
That's his name.
Yeah, like the main chef who owns all of them. So he has the Nobus and then he has the Matsuhisas. But the Nobu, I would say top 3 meals of my life.
Well, that's kind of why I wanted to try it out, because I hear so many celebrities talk about it. Like there's Nobu everywhere. There's one in
Yeah.
Malibu, but it was
He's
divine.
like the celebrity's celebrity.
Yeah.
I feel like the celebrities want to know Nobu.
Isn't that funny? Like celebrities, you can be famous with celebrities if you are like a club owner or like a celebrity chef.
Restaurateur,
You're a
or
restaurateur,
yeah.
yeah. So he's one of that guys. He actually not DM'd us. He responded to our story.
He fired our
Yeah,
story
yeah.
because I tagged him. I'm like,
Yeah, he DM'd me. No, not like that. But so no, the food was actually insane. And then she got us some sake that I don't even know what it was. It was called like the Demon Killer or the
Yeah.
Demon Slayer or something like that. Divine, delicious. And Carla doesn't even drink, but she was like, "You need to get that one. Everyone likes that one." And yeah,
basically just like showed Nick like such a special birthday.
I know.
We
which
did
she-
the omakase.
yeah, and she did not have to do all that, but that's just how she rolls.
If you don't know what omakase means, I feel like this still is like a drinking and eating podcast. Most people do, but omakase is just like the chef's selection.
Yeah,
So you say that and they'll just craft like a meal. So like
right.
10 to like 15 things will like come out slowly and you each get like 2 bites. So
Mhm.
the omakase, but then we added like oysters and then we had some dessert. And so they already knew I was gluten-free. So everything was just like so perfect. And like one of those things where like everything you put into your mouth, you're like, oh my God. oh
Like
my-
it kept getting
what?
better.
We're like, sir, excuse
Have
me.
you guys tried that?
You're having
oh.
like an transcendental like moment at the table.
I know, but I will say after a little day drinking,
Well, no, I had 2 bottles of champagne for breakfast.
yeah, and then like just a lot of sake. We did get a little slightly buzzed towards the end of it. And Francesca, the one who's like not drinking, after the meal, she's like, "Do you guys want to go out? You guys want to go
Well,
out?"
then I ordered a martini. That's when you knew it was all over.
We're like 3/4 of the way done with the meal, and Francesca was like, "Hey, can I get just a Tito, like dirty Tito's martini?" And I was like, "She's gone." Like
No, that's what we have lost her.
We have lost
Vanessa has
her.
come.
yeah.
Replaced her. So then like I was trying to get everyone. I had like met a club promoter earlier. He put us on the list for Omnia. And I was like, you guys want to go to Omnia? They're like, absolutely not. All we wanted to do was come for a nice dinner.
Literally, Carla and her man were like, "No."
Actually,
And then
no.
you go to the bathroom, and then Carla was like, "Is she going to be upset that we don't want to go to the club?" I was like, "No, she doesn't even want to go to the club. Like, I literally promise you, she doesn't want to go. She's just had a martini and champagne for breakfast." Yeah, it was funny because as we were driving back, we were in her Ferrari, and I was just like, "Francesca, we're not going to the club. Just get in the Ferrari.
Just get in the
You
Ferrari.
were like,
get in the Ferrari.
Get in the
Just
Ferrari.
put your ass
Get in the
Ferrari
right now." And you're like, "Come on, let's go. Let's go." I'm like, "No, we're getting in the Ferrari. Way more fun." And we're driving back. Yeah, I didn't drive it because we had been drinking, but it was like, Ferraris are cool. Ferraris are
Zoom,
nice.
zoom.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Like, I mean, it was cool. Like one of those cars that people take photos, like pictures and videos of you when you drive by.
But that is cool. We got to like drive it up.
I
Park at
know.
Caesar's Palace. It's like a really big entrance.
Yeah.
Everyone's taking
Mhm.
photos. I was like, are we celebrities?
Literally, that was just
No, it's
day
just our
one.
friend's nice car.
I know. I know.
Nothing to do
it's
with
not my
us.
car, I promise everyone. But that was just day one. So that's how it started.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day, we just chilled, smoked some more hookah. I love hookah, by the way.
Such a vibe when you're all sitting around chatting.
Wait, can I say one more thing about omakase that I forgot? I'm sorry.
Yes, can't
Backtrack.
wait.
My bad. I have been told that in Japan, that a lot of like the local sushi places that aren't like quite as, done up, you just like go sit down and you just kind of ask the chef like, "What's good? What are you
Okay.
doing?" And then they start, so that like omakase is like really, really like traditional of just being like, "Hey, what's good today?" Not just like, "Here's what I like,"
Yeah.
Anyway,
Ooh.
backtrack. Yeah. But yeah, so then so we were going to our birthday party for Drax, and we met her at Burning Man, and it was interesting because there was like a lot of new friends that we were meeting through her birthday, but there was a lot of old friends not old friends, but people we had also met at Burning Man. And so our friend Misha, he was driving up there and he lives in Vegas. And so he just like picked us up. Then we got In-N-Out Burger and then we drive straight to Mammoth. And
Classic me. I was like, oh, we already ate. Like, we don't need any food. 20 minutes into the drive, I'm like, you see that In-N-Out like 2 miles back? Could we like turn around?
and he was like, oh yeah, let's go to In-N-Out immediately.
What is with the obsession with In-N-Out? Honestly, like it was great. They do a lettuce wrap really nicely for me there, being gluten-free, and I can eat their french fries. But the line.
Let's talk about that. What is up with In-N-Out Burger?
No, like what do they put in it to make like it? Misha was telling us that like In-N-Out has like a line around the 2 blocks at every single location in the city.
I'm not really sure what's going on there. Again, as a vegetarian, it's really not that great.
The fries are kind of mid.
The fries I'd say are like less than mid. I think McDonald's does better fries. I'm really not understanding the culture. People say it's like it tastes like a burger. I get it, but I'm not.
You said your veggie burger wasn't a veggie
my
burger.
gosh,
It was
guys.
just like a bun and like lettuce and tomato and
I
onion.
ordered a veggie burger. I was like, "Do you guys do veggie burgers?" And they were like, "Yeah, we do veggie burgers." And I was like, "Oh, cool! I'll have one of those." So I get it, and it's just everything that's on a burger besides the patty, like a cheeseburger. So lettuce, tomato, onion, pickle, cheese, no patty.
That would
and
have
they
been a
have
nice
that.
distinction.
I know. I thought that was a bit strange, In-N-Out, but people talk about In-N-Out so much, and I really just don't understand. But
I mean, it was good. Like, I think they had like good quality meat. Like for me to just like have meat and cheese and lettuce and their like secret sauce
yeah,
was honestly like a vibe. So I do
Yeah.
like it. I just didn't know it's going to be like a 45-minute wait
Mhm.
for burger.
I know. It is kind of crazy. So then we drive into Mammoth, which is only like a 4.5, 5-hour drive. We get to Mammoth at 1 a.m. and we're going straight into like a party,
A Viking party.
Viking themed party of 180 people.
180 of our closest friends.
180 of our closest friends. And I was like a little, cause we had just eaten, we're getting in, and I was just not ready for like the whoopah, like,
Yeah,
let's
like
go.
DJ, they rented out a bowling alley. Everyone is in like full Viking garb.
And I love strangers. Like I love to get to know a lot of people, but I was like, oof, like we are in it to win it tonight.
So we jumped in.
Yeah. And we met so many people.
But then, okay, so we were there. Well, then we went
What happened?
back to the house.
Oh yeah.
Went back to the house and like chilled for like until like 5 or 6 a.m.
Yeah.
But like actually pretty chill. Just
Mhm.
like everybody chit chatting. I was glad to like get a little intro. And then I was kind of like, should we go now? Like we have a whole weekend here.
I know.
But then we woke up. I slept until like 1 or 2. You get a call.
I get a phone call, and it was from Drax, the birthday girl herself, and she was like, "Hey, what are you doing right now?" And I was like, "I'm like, when you could barely unlock your phone with like your face, and you're just like, I just woke up." And she's like, "Good, there's a wine tasting across the street, and we have an extra spot for you. Let's go."
I said, I'm going to hang back and like fix myself.
And I love a wine tasting. It just was like right when I woke up, so I was like, I guess we're drinking wine for breakfast.
Again.
And we stayed at Outbound Hotel in Mammoth.
Yeah, shout out.
shout
Outbound
out.
like really took care of us.
Yeah, if you're looking for a good hotel in Mammoth Lakes. By the way, Mammoth Lakes, if you guys don't know, it's a ski town. Like there's a whole ski resort. and
Northern
everything like-
California.
Yeah, so it's like 4.5 hours away from LA, 5 hours away from Vegas. It's kind of like interesting, but it's like a whole mountain town, and
So it's where like most people in LA like go ski.
Yeah.
Besides like Tahoe.
I just didn't know that. Yeah, I always think of like Tahoe, but I had no idea it was so close to Vegas. So, but let's talk about the wine tasting.
Chip is the wine director there. So I end up coming.
Yeah,
So
she
now
ends
we're
up
both
coming just like an
having
hour and a
just
half later.
straight up champagne, whites, red, like deep reds for
Uh-huh.
full on breakfast.
Yeah, and it wasn't California wine. It
Thank
was
God.
all like French, Italian. Which me and Francesca love old world wine. And Chip was like a stand-up comedian. He really knew his
Beyond.
wine, and he was so funny. And he was kind of roasting everyone.
Yeah.
And like every time you would do something wrong or like uncouth, like grab the
Like
wine
hands
by the
off the
bulb.
stem. I'm gonna arrest
like,
ya.
Hands, yeah. So it was literally so good, and he did not skimp on the wine pours because usually they're kind of like, like, oh, here
No,
you
these
go.
are some of the best wines I've ever had. And it was
Yeah.
huge pours. I was
Mhm.
like, oh, like this is what we're doing today.
Totally. And he's like, this one's been decanting since 11 a.m. today and this and that. They're trying to actually have like one of the best wine programs in that region of California, which I
He
think.
wants to have one of the best wine programs in the world. And he's like going
Yeah.
for it.
Mhm.
And I will
think-
say it was one of the best wine tastings I've ever done. So if you're in Mammoth, Outbound Hotel and do a wine tasting with Chip.
yeah.
Change your life. Amazing charcuterie to go with it.
Yeah, we literally were just like running around having so much fun. There was like probably 30 of us there, and
Mhm.
great job with that. But as you know, wine for breakfast. Then we decided to go meet up with our cousin because one of our fake cousins, he's not actually related to us, but we just call him that.
No, he's our real cousin.
He's our real cousin, related by marriage, but he lives in Mammoth, and so he calls us. He was like, "What are you guys doing?"
He has like a fancy Black Pass wine. It's like a Black Pass up there, and then you get invited to all these fancy events. So he invites us to a fancy wine tasting.
Wine tasting. I was like, "Oh, that's so crazy! A wine tasting? That sounds like the best idea ever." Which we did go, and it was like a different crowd. Definitely like
No,
older,
it was like older,
fancier.
uber rich, like
Yeah.
all these like women that were hitting on Nick.
Yeah.
All of the cougars.
They were like, I'm just waiting for a man like you. And I was like, it's crazy because in California, I come off so straight, which I don't know what that. California is just like the men are a little bit different. People are different in California.
No, like the straight guys are basically like come off gay, and then the gays are like really
Real gay.
So Nick is like the butchest of the butch straight guy in the room.
kind of besides like some of the like, you know, private
besides the
fitness
lumberjacks?
influencers and stuff like that. Yeah. Unless they were like a fitness influencer that were like clearly like uber masculine straight guy with like muscles the size of your head. It was like they all just kind of seemed gay. And I just came off so straight. And I was just like, oh, ladies.
No, he was saying that like the amount that you got hit on was like, you were like, it was almost like annoying, which is like rude of me to say. But every like older, younger, like everyone
I
just
know.
thought Nick was like the single hot new straight meat.
New straight guy in town, and they're just like, you're coming to the next bar with me. I'd love to get to know you more. And I was just like, this is crazy. But like,
He's like, but I'm girly pop. And
I know,
like
I'm
they
girly
weren't
pop.
believing him.
And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm gay. And they're like, you're gay? I'm like, yes. And I was also wearing this like All Saints like plaid jacket and kind of flannelly. And people were like, I was like, man, it's crazy that everyone thinks I'm straight. And they're like, you're dressed like a lumberjack. I'm like, I'm in a mountain town.
Yeah, like that's just what you do in mountain towns. That's
I
the
know.
gay guys here wear flannel, but we
Yeah.
live in Denver. It's
Yeah.
skewing our brains.
I know the gayest guys that I know in Denver, like they all wear flannel. I mean, they'll wear like mesh shirts and jock straps too, but like under flannel. Yeah, I don't know. But it was funny. And like, you know, get a couple drinks from Francesca and I, and we go around meeting.
No, why do we
everyone.
have to act like the mayor?
I don't
Why
know
are we
what
like
that is.
this?
I just-
we become the mayor of the towns. I must go meet this person, that person. Our cousin is in Black Pass and lives up there full time in the winter. He's like, why? I'm like, have you met Cindy? Did you know Linda owns the place down the street?
Oh my
I'm
God.
like, Chip, Steve.
Oh, shit.
Oh God. And he's like, why are you introducing me to people? He's like, seriously, like every time I take you guys somewhere, it's like this.
Every time. And I'll say that is one of our greatest strengths, but I just feel like when I'm in a room with strangers, I need to meet everyone.
Yeah, like we're out here giving like double handshakes, like senator handshakes. We're like, oh, you should meet my friend Greg over here.
Uh-huh.
Your guys' business, so much synergy. And like,
Yeah.
I'm out here like, I overheard like an older woman. She had this gorgeous dainty chain on, and they were like, oh my God, we just like can't get it on. We have to take it back to the jeweler. It's like tied up. As you know, if you listen, one of my strengths is untangling things. It's
Oh,
a
yeah,
superpower.
yeah.
Nick always makes fun of me. They had been working on it and passed around. They're like, okay, like who's this girl? Like, go ahead, Francesca. Like, give it a try. Fucking undo it. They're
Undo
like,
it. I mean,
they're
it's
like,
such a
I'm
weird-
sorry. So then Cheryl was my new best friend.
Yeah, I'm like,
She was like the queen bee of the group.
I'm like, hey, Doug, your wife Laura and I were talking, and she just said that you were one of the best dentists, and I'm just like, what am I doing? Like, why am I?
No,
But I am
it's-
being genuine. It's like it's fun. It's like good to meet people. And then we all went after that to this tiki bar.
So that's what. Okay, so these locals, they were like, you know where we're going next? We're going to Lakanuki.
I'm like, Laka what? Like Lakanuki?
They're like, oh, it's honestly like around the corner, but it's this tiki bar that apparently they named it that because like the owner said that it's all men in that town. So like lack of nookie, Lakanuki. I don't know if that's true. It's
Lakanuki.
lore in the town. Of course, I know the
you know, the town
lore.
lore, you know, all the urban legends. Yeah, I don't know if that is like that, but you know, in Mammoth, there's not a lot of bars, and they all kind of closed
Kind
down.
of like Breckenridge. It's a mountain town.
Mm-hmm. But man, Lakanuki turned into
Like a club. We couldn't. We were drinking Tito's sodas with like passion fruit. Next thing you know, there's party favors.
There's rounds of shots going out everywhere, and it's some girl's birthday. It's like Cindy's birthday. It's my birthday. Everyone's singing me happy birthday, and
We meet other people from Burning Man. I mean,
we're
like dancing on tables.
we're like locked in arms, being like, "I love you, man." And I'm like, "I'm gonna be your new dentist." You know, like it was so much fun, and
Highlight of the weekend.
I know.
Part of
I
it.
think Lakanuki was kind of like the star of the show in a way. Like it just was so perfect, and so we ended up going back to.
Well, no, because we didn't want to leave Lakanuki, but we were hosting at our villa a pregame of 60 people.
Oh my God.
And
I
it had
forgot.
already started. And I was like, I think we should go back. Like,
So, yeah,
we're hosting.
We're hosting a whole party at the villa. And we get back to and then this night was themed like your favorite musical artist. But so people really came with like the outfits and everything, but we did not. I was going to be Lady Gaga and wear a leather jacket and put a Diet Coke can in my hair.
I was going to be Britney Spears in my little skirt. And yeah, I was like, oh, like we got this theme.
But when we walk into our villa, there is 100 people there. And it was like, oh, like I didn't have time to change. There's people I haven't met literally in my hotel room. So
I go to the bathroom and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to like refresh up like my day makeup, maybe put like a little bit more mascara on, just, look fine. And then, because I'm like, we have an entire like club that they rented out at the Outbound with like multiple DJs. We have an entire night ahead of us. And I'm just like, what? So I just put on something that like I don't know, like a pop star would wear, but I wasn't anyone in particular. But then one of my friends in the bathroom, she was like, oh, you need like a little bit of eyeliner. But granted, we've all been partying all day. So she like goes to put on a little winged eyeliner. Then the other side. And it's like a little smudge. She's like, oh, if I add more to this side, it'll be even. Then like a couple more girls get involved. And it's like, so now we have like 6 girls trying to help fix my makeup. And it's like, no, let's do this. And like, no, a little bit more on this side. Next thing you know, I am Amy Winehouse, which I guess I could have just went with that.
I think you should have. I think Amy Winehouse is so funny. I didn't see this happen.
No,
I just
because
know, like,
I disappeared. I didn't even attend the pregame.
You're in the bathroom with like all these girls for a
45
long time.
minutes.
Yeah. With like 5 girls.
I ended up having to wash my face because I was like, which if you've known like after day partying, like if you were just trying to touch up, your biggest nightmare is now I'm washing my face and starting over while there's a party at my own house. So another girl's like, oh, I'm like a makeup artist. So luckily she just like does my makeup. I'm like, great. But now I have like all these people are helping me. It felt like I was like just like black out and it was like the blind leading the blind. And
it was kind of like that. But like, we had been drinking all day. So we were like a little gonzo. But I mean, everyone kind of was, Also, we brought my snowboard that day. Like I brought my snowboard to go snowboarding.
He brought it in a plane to Vegas in a car to Mammoth. Never touched it. Sent it back to Vegas. Then we had to cart it back to Denver. It was his snowboard just like went on a little trip.
I just brought the snowboard everywhere with me. But the thing is, it was raining in Mammoth.
It's raining in Mammoth. We're so cold. We're outside for 3 seconds between like bars. It's actually awful. Someone give me a golf cart.
So everyone who got on the mountain was just completely soaked. So we didn't even go snowboarding. So that's why I was like, okay, we're just going to go wine tasting instead,
Yeah.
So which was
naturally.
fine. I know. And everyone I kept talking to, I was like, oh, did you guys go snowboarding? Like, how was the mountain? And they were like, we were so cold and miserable.
They're like, it was like the worst experience of our lives. I don't do cold. I don't do wet.
Yeah. So we just like partied the whole time, which was fine because we had a lot to do. Like, I mean, there was so much going on. I don't know how we could have fit snowboarding in,
We have people to meet.
Yeah. I was expecting you to come out of the bathroom like with like Chapel Roan makeup on. You guys were, I didn't know what like a geisha, like what were you doing in there? And you come in just looking completely normal.
No, exactly the same.
out.
Because I was like, I just need like, I can't handle this. There were some mushrooms happening.
Oh, I know.
I am like,
man, I've been loving the mushrooms. We were just so
the mushrooms this weekend were like fun.
Yeah, just giggly, like laughing at like everything everyone's saying is the funniest thing ever.
Oh,
And
we're
I'm-
missing a part in the middle.
oh, what?
Before we went to the pregame, we went to the worm show.
Was that the worm show?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was. Oh man. All right, backtrack.
We go back to our cousin's house, our cousin's friend's house, so like they can change. and we had all eaten mushrooms.
Right.
And there's this like 10 foot by 10 foot like micro silk fiber silky like blanket.
It was like the 10 foot by 10 foot blanket, like the biggest blanket I've ever seen.
And you just like roll up in it. And you guys, we're going to post a picture. Actually, we might make this episode kind of a vlog episode and just see how you guys like it to do something different. And, you know, if you're just listening, it might be sort of like annoying to hear the background of these like vloggy times, but just let me know what you think. Cause I listened to someone else's podcast that did this the other day and it didn't bother me that much because I wasn't like watching it. I was just listening. But you guys, like this photo of Nick as the worm, like we're talking like Shai Hulud from Dune.
I think that was my inspiration.
It must have been.
And so we go back to our cousin's house and it's just me, my cousin, his friend Adam, and our friend Lana.
Yeah.
Okay. Who was like one of the prettiest girls I've ever met. And I just decide, it was the mushrooms. I don't really know what was happening, but the way I like layered the blanket on me, I literally became the worm.
No,
Like,
and he was doing, you guys, there was like a plot line. We're all like sat on the couch, seated, just watching this. And we didn't want it to stop. Nick is giving us an entire theatrical performance as the worm.
like 45 minutes to the worm show. Everyone bought tickets to
Yeah.
the worm show. And I don't really 100% like remember every detail or what I was doing or where this came from. And then I like rolled it back to expose my head. And like, I was like flipping my feet in different directions to show different like worm tricks that I could do.
No, you were doing tricks.
I was doing worm tricks.
Yeah.
I've never done a worm trick before. And I'm still not even sure what a worm trick is. But, there we are. And now for the rest of the weekend, they were all kept calling me. They're like, oh, my little wormy. How's the worm doing? And I was just like, but I kind of like it, like the worm. But you guys have to see the photo.
If we could sell tickets to this show.
I know. That's what I'm
I
going
don't
to
know
do
if
for
you
money.
could ever recreate,
I
but
really,
like I'm telling you that it was one of the funniest things like Nicholas has ever done.
I love that because like, what the hell?
No, what?
Like what?
Like, remember that guy in the worm show he put on for us?
And especially like our cousin's friends are just going to completely remember me as just the worm, that worm guy, the guy that did the worm show. But
we're just here to entertain.
We literally will just entertain
If you
you.
giggled
know what I
for
mean?
45 minutes,
Yeah.
then like we're happy. But like, oh my gosh, we
Just
just
like-
couldn't stop. We're like, no, more.
More. Like there was a standing
Wormy,
ovation
jump.
applause. I know. Show us more, Wormy. Yeah, I mean, if you just sit yourself down, get yourself a cocktail, and give me a blanket, I will give you a show. And I really wish we had this on video. It's just like that's just the podcast.
Yeah.
It's just the worm show.
Can you imagine?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so then
Then we go to the
pregame and then
pregame.
party.
So we go to this party.
Wait, I had to
What?
ride to the party or home from the party. But anyway, to get to the party, one of the other guys at the party had to like get in the bed of the truck, but it had like a hood on it. And then in the snow, we're like,
Oh yeah.
we're spooning in the truck. And I'm like, oh, hey, like I'm Francesco. What's your name? And we're in the darkness, like holding the tools.
Yeah. I
That
forgot
happened.
about that. And
Wait, here we are. She's in the bed of a trunk.
Truck bed.
Hey.
It's like a coffin, but like, I'm a vampire.
But just when you're trying to get to the afters in the mountain, totally fine. We got our fur.
There's no Ubers.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of fur.
people inside the car like didn't even know that we had people in the back of the car. So like once we had parked, we got out and then you guys like emerged from the car and he's like, who is that? I'm like, we got some stowaways.
I was
But-
stowing away in some people's. We never really got like lost
No.
going places because like Uber doesn't exist in mountain towns.
Yeah. But we always found a ride and everything. It was just kind of with strangers or people that I like hope are sober. But
So this isn't even our story, but I'm stealing it from our friend Erin Webster on Instagram. Because
one of the coolest girls ever.
No, she's one of our new best friends. Met her at Burning Man, really solidified our friendship. So we weren't with her, but she needed to find a ride back from the party back to like the mansion they had rented for the after party. She got put in charge of like 25 people and getting them back to the house. And Drax is just like, I know you'll figure it out.
And she's just like this very high energy, pretty blonde girl.
Like
okay?
gorgeous, very
Uh-huh.
tall.
skinny,
Beautiful blonde girl.
just a little chaotic. Okay.
See my room.
Like,
Dude, wait, go to the castle. Wait, so the funniest part about it was that I met Drax because I crashed her party last year, and now we met because I crashed her birthday last year, and now we get to share a room together, and this is my.
Wait,
this is our-
stop. Stop it.
I met him because I crashed her birthday, and now we share a room.
Okay, Castle.
Okay, Castle.
What are we can't even pull this up.
She like stops a trolley in the middle of the road, like a proper trolley, says like, can I pay you to take all of us up to this house? And he's like, okay. She's like, all right, everybody. And these people have never met her.
She just found a group of found people from the party and got them in the trolley.
So she's like, I hired this trolley, get in the trolley. So she gets them all in the trolley. Trolley says it won't take them all the way to the house. So drops them off like in the middle of nowhere on the side of this mountain. But on the maps, she can see that like, oh, it's like a 20-minute walk if we take the roads, but it's only a 5-minute walk if we go through the woods.
Like
So-
through the snowy woods.
Like knee deep, like knee to thigh deep snow. So all of these people dressed as Vikings who don't know her are just like, I hope this blonde girl is like going in the right direction because otherwise we're going to die out here. It's just woods, pitch black, and a blonde Viking be like, I swear that it's this
Follow
way.
me just a little bit further, guys. Just a little bit further. And meanwhile, the people that didn't know her was like, I don't know if there's a party.
Like if there's a
I
house, like
don't-
does it exist?
Are you actually fucking kidding me?
We made it.
Oh God.
Tippy toes. Go.
Oh fuck. Oh, we're just like, oh shit.
Oh, where are we going?
I don't know where I'm going.
Hey guys.
Straight to hell. This is. Oh my. Okay.
yeah. And I don't even I don't know if I would have gone.
I have a video from someone because we found out about this from other people that were like, no, I have a video of like it happening. And we were all like, you guys, like, I don't think she knows where she's going.
Like this girl might be drunk and just like leading us to die.
And so then she's like yelling, follow me. And they're like, you guys, like, there is no house. Like, there's no homes out here. Like, as far as the eye can see, there's just the sky and the snow up to their waist. And they were just like, at this point, like, we have to just keep going.
Yeah. I mean, because you're just lost out there.
Finally, they got there and they were like, oh my gosh, like the house does exist. And she was like, yeah, like I live here. This is my mansion.
And it is like a big, like kind of
Castle.
Tuscan style castle with like stonework and everything. So they approached it and they were like, it was this massive castle with like a ton of people.
A
having
DJ
party.
starting,
Yeah.
a bunch of people partying. They were like, oh, like this is real.
Which I just love that. Like everyone was like doubting her. You know, they're like, we're going to die out here. And she's like,
I told them to trust
I told
me.
them. But like, yeah, the party that we went to, it was huge. I mean, I know that like Drax had a ton of friends at her party. Like, I mean, there was like 180 people that went. But when we got to where like the club was, I was like, who are all these people?
There was too many to like go around.
I know.
That
There was,
was,
like,
I was just like
350
dancing, talking with like our close friends. I do have some like photos. Like I had like guys in my DMs that were like, hey. And then I'd see me be like, hey, what are you doing? And they'd be like, go, like, what are you doing? And then like the conversation went nowhere. And I was like,
What?
did we meet? Why were you in my DMs? Like, what's going
Yeah.
on? And he was like, no, like, I was just the guy that you met at the party that you let try on your nose necklace. And I was like, what?
What is a nose necklace?
Like, you know, the face chains I wear that like drape across my nose? And I was like, wow, a nose necklace.
Nose necklace.
He was like, okay, that's kind of fair. And I was
Yeah,
like, I guess.
it is a nose. It does just sit on your nose. At the party, I was like playing matchmaker Okay, because
What
like,
is this? I never saw this.
Okay, because like wherever I go, I feel like I'm the mayor, and then I know everyone, and I'm like taking care of everyone, even though like I'm not, like I'm wasted. So every like single girl that I met, I was like, oh, I know a single guy, like some random guy that I met 2.5 seconds ago, and I was like, you two need to meet, and I'm like, wow, match made in heaven. Nope, just two people of the opposite gender, I swear. And so I was like going around like making sure like everyone like had a match. I don't know what I was doing.
The Lord's work.
The Lord's
is what you were
honestly,
doing.
I mean, kind of, you know what I mean? And I do feel like I like did a lot. And
I wonder if any of those matches worked out.
well, I think there was one maybe.
Wow.
But I'm not 100% sure. And I don't even remember all their names. But
Nicotine matchmaking with Nicodemus.
Yeah.
You're like handing out cards. You're like, you know what? He's an Aries. You're a Leo rising.
Yeah.
You know what? You two should meet at this party.
Yeah. This guy's extremely talkative and you're so shy. I'm like, you would totally hit it off. I don't know.
We
but
need it. If they could hire you for parties.
No, honestly, like
that's what the men these days need.
well, because I felt like there were so many people that didn't know each other because it was like a lot of like different groups of people. And again, I think I know everyone in the world. So it was like, but I kind of do. I mean, like I know a lot of people. So I was like, or I just met them at least. So I'm like trying to like get people to meet each other. I don't know, but it probably wasn't
I love
that.
that.
It probably
I wish
wasn't.
someone would have done that for me.
I was trying. I introduced you to that one guy.
Oh, yeah. But then he blacked out.
He blacked out. It was actually really funny. He's a super cute guy. I don't even know where he lives, but I was talking to him for a bit and he was great. I was like, oh, I think Francesca would really like him. And then you guys were talking and I come back up to talk to him. And he was like buying me shots and stuff. And I think there was like a 20-minute period where like he was able to form a sentence and then he was
Like,
unable
wasn't.
to form a
Yeah, I
sentence.
was like, oh, I need to walk away now.
And then he ended up just like disappearing. And I texted him. He was like, oh no, I blacked out. I had to leave. And I was like, probably best, you know? Like, yeah.
No, I remember that. Like we were sitting down, we were having a little chat. You're right. And
you
then
guys had like a full kiki. I thought it was really going somewhere until I realized he wasn't able to form a sentence. But see, that's the thing. I'm like, oh my God,
Shot.
match made in heaven. No, and he's just like,
yeah. And then
I'm
I had
like,
to get
okay.
up. I was like, I think I'm due over there. I
Yeah.
hear my name being called. Okay.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
was a recipient
No,
of
you
your
were
service.
meeting a lot of people.
I'll tip you
Thank you.
from the same bank account that we share.
I know, you know?
But then, okay, so some people were like, just like getting a little too like messed up. And this girl came in and she was like, just wouldn't stop telling us about, and I'm sure she's a nice person. I don't mean to make fun of her, but like she wouldn't stop talking to us about being vegan.
Well, because we were at the house, we had a chef and he was making everyone steak dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the guys there is a vegetarian and I'm a vegetarian and he made me salmon. I eat fish, but she wasn't a vegan. She said she was, but she still has like a hard time eating meat. But I'm just sitting here like,
But she just wouldn't stop talking. Like we're all trying to have like different conversations and hang out with each other. And she just wanted to talk to us about veganism, but she's not even vegan.
I know.
So then finally we looked at her and told her we were going to eat her dogs.
Because at that point, which was funny because it was like, I am a vegetarian and I don't know why, like, I just had to fuck with her. She was so drunk and she was kind of being insane. So I was like, oh, I'm going to eat your dog.
And we
She
were
was
like, we're going to come after you and we're going to eat your little dogs.
like, oh man, I'm going to pretend like this steak is your dog. And she was just like, oh my God, stop. They're like my children, my children. And like,
she wasn't saying children. She kept saying children.
and then I know, I just decided
We're going
just
to eat your children.
And so all of us in the kitchen just like really like got on the same page with the joke and was just like, we're gonna eat your children, okay, your children. And then meanwhile in the other room, a whole bunch of people are watching a movie. Like there's like
No, everyone's watching the Grammys in the
Oh,
other
it's the
rooms. We
Grammys.
had like a private chef that night. We're on Sunday now. Basically,
and
we skipped a day.
I know we did skip a day, but whatever. It all blends together. But so I guess everyone's like going in to have this like chill like movie time, and then she runs in screaming to the movie, and she's like, "These people are gonna say they're gonna eat my children," and they were like,
They're gonna eat my children. They're eating my dogs.
and they're just like, "Girl, who are you?" I don't know, but
someone like sit down. It's gonna be okay. I promise they're not gonna eat your dogs who are not here.
I know we're not gonna eat your dogs. I don't. Also, like, I'm a vegetarian. I'm definitely not eating your dogs. But man, it was just
the whirlwind.
it was a whirlwind. Well, one last thing. Okay, so it was my birthday on Sunday, which was the Grammys, and
This
to
is
top it off with like one of the craziest birthdays I ever had that honestly did not end for a week. Like, I mean, there were so many things happening. So we're all watching the Grammys, and then GaGa, my favorite woman of all time, drops a new song and music video after she wins a Grammy. And I was like, this is crazy. I was like,
Abracadabra.
abracadabra.
This is wild. It was magic for your birthday.
It was magic for my birthday. And it was, I just really felt, I was kind of getting emotional on Sunday. Like, not that like I was worried about being 30. I just feel like I've done so much in my life and have had so much fun and have kind of always gotten to do the things I wanted to do. Like this entire trip, really, like it just all came together so perfectly. And I met so many people. Like I genuinely had so much fun. And then like, if it couldn't get any better, like GaGa drops a whole single on the night of my birthday. And I just like, it like really touched me. You know, it like really did. Yeah. So I was like really happy about that. And it's been on repeat since, honestly. Like the entire flight ride home, I just listened to Abracadabra.
Abracadabra.
But yeah, and then the next day we woke up, packed up all of our stuff.
We like went back to Vegas. We like chilled. We hung out.
We
We
had
met up with
brunch.
Cam, who's also been on the podcast.
We'll link him.
And then we actually, so here's something my dad just taught me. If
Yeah.
you fly Southwest, after you check in, you can switch to any flight that day and go on standby. And they won't, if you want to like leave earlier, like later, whatever, they won't cancel your other flight until you make it on that other one.
Right.
So like we just kept like moving our flight, moving it up, moving it back, flying standby. Totally easy. $0 to move it around
I had
that day.
no idea that existed, especially if it's like a flight path that has a lot of flights in the same day, like Denver to Vegas or Vegas to Denver. It's crazy easy.
Yeah, like and then like your bags are checked in and your bags should be like on that flight. If you don't get cleared for it, there is a possibility they might just be on their original flight or they get on that flight and you don't, and then you have to wait for them. So it's way better if you have a carry-on.
Yeah.
But our bags were fine. Our bags showed up with us. But yeah, Southwest hack.
I know. I love Southwest, so as if it couldn't get any better. But it was funny. It was like we were flying private, like, oh, I guess I'm going to leave at 1. No, JK,
Yeah.
I'm going to leave at 2:30. No, JK, let's leave at 5.
We just like never left Vegas after that.
Mm-hmm. And which, by the way, I just love Vegas. I know I've said it before. I'll say it again.
Nick's like ready to move. Everyone's
uh,
trying to get us to move there.
I know.
We're on the road to New York.
I think New York, but I could totally live in Vegas. Yeah, so I was just like, and then Burning Man is in Nevada. I was like, is Nevada my favorite state?
He just kept saying that. And then it's
Yeah.
like you can smoke inside, and then it's like trashy, but it's glitzy.
I
It is very you.
I know, it is me. Desert, love the desert. There's still mountains and everything. I was like, okay, Nevada pride over here, which is the weirdest state in the world.
So good
But yeah.
birthday.
Best birthday by far. One of the best birthdays I've ever had.
Okay.
It was just crazy, yeah. And shout out Drax, happy birthday. Thanks for throwing me a massive birthday party. Shout out Carla for making it wonderful.
Honestly, all our friends just
Yeah.
kind of made it wonderful. We made amazing new friends. And I just always feel like so inspired and everything when we do
Yeah.
make stuff like that happen with
I
like
know.
$12 in our bank account.
I know, literally.
But it's just like, man, like meeting the people and being saucy and like being around like other creatives. Like there were so many other like TikTokers and YouTubers and people like that. And
Yeah.
I love just being able to talk to people. Like it's not weird. Like it's just like, oh, you're a creator too. Oh, you're a podcaster too.
Mhm.
And just like that it's so normalized and not just like some weird thing you do.
Yeah.
And then getting like inspiration from them and like ideas because they do it full time already.
1,000%.
And that's our goal.
Yeah. And it was so good to like talk to all the people that do it. But it was funny, like some of the girls there, I was just like, oh, you have 5 million TikTok followers.
Yeah.
I recognize you.
No, totally. That was
mhm.
like that crowd. Everyone, like all the LA people are like just so pretty.
They are really gorgeous. Yeah.
It's like almost like, oh my God, stop looking at me like that.
Mhm.
Like with
I
your
know. I'm
sparkly
like,
little
with-
eyes.
I know, like with your blue eyes. Like, oh my God.
Like, why do you
Yeah.
sparkle? Like, are you a Disney prince? Like, it was kind of like that kind of crowd.
Yeah. And one of the girls that I met, a big influencer, I don't want to say her name, but she was like so cool, real, and down to earth. And like, I guess her content is like more comedy and stuff. So you just wouldn't really like, I just feel like it would be easy to judge her. Like, she just seems like one of those girls. But yeah, I mean, I had brunch with
Normal,
her.
smart, cool.
Chill.
Like, weird social media is not real.
I know, exactly. Like a really like kind of smart business minded woman, and I was just like, yeah, that's like awesome. Like successful. So yeah, inspiring. I think that's a good place to feel.
Leave it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll keep you guys updated on our road to New York City. Subscribe to
know.
the Patreon. Hang out with us. Tell your friends. Share the clips. We love you so much. Let's hang out more. We'll see you next week.
Bye.